This week on Empowering Midlife Wellness, I'm talking about putting estrogen on your face. Does it work? Does it not work? What's the best type of estrogen? Should we use estriol, estradiol? Should we combine it with other things? Let's talk about that today. Hi friends, and welcome to this week's episode. If you're just joining me, I'm Dr. Susan. I'm a board-certified gynecologist and certified menopause practitioner dedicated 100% to taking care of women just like me, women in midlife who want to feel great now and also set up the healthiest elderly version of ourselves, because that starts right now. So I get tons of questions all the time about using estrogen cream on the face. So I wanted to go over some of the information that we know about that, what studies show, what we know, what we don't. So let's talk about that today. So there's been a lot of talk in the media, and a lot of products are being promoted to help with collagen, fine lines, wrinkles that are estrogen-based. So let's go back to talking about the different kinds of estrogen. Typically, estrogen cream that would be used on the face is the type of estrogen called estriol. Different than estradiol. Estriol is much weaker. In fact, in animal models, it's thought to be about 100 times less potent than estradiol. So estradiol, remember, is the primary hormone that we made from our ovaries. It's the hormone that we use in menopausal hormone therapy. So estriol, 100 times less potent, is a very weak estrogen. And one of the reasons why that's usually the product that's chosen to use on the face is because it's been shown to be 100% bound locally in the skin. In other words, it's not going to increase the estrogen level in your bloodstream. Because the concern would be, of course, if you're taking menopausal hormone therapy, let's just say you've got your estradiol level perfect, and then you started putting additional estrogen on your face, that it could elevate your levels to be too high, and that could cause issues. So that's the reason why estriol is usually used in common face products. Now, there's a lot of problems trying to figure out whether this stuff works or not, because a lot of it's anecdotal, right? So maybe you give the product to 100 patients, you have them use it for a period of time. Lots of studies have been done on this, by the way, but none of them matched up. Some used it for 30 days, some used it for 3 months. There were different strengths of estriol. Some of the products were combined with other things. For example, many products are combined with hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, retinols. So if you use the product for 3 months and your skin looks better, which one was it? Was it the hyaluronic acid, the vitamin C, the retinol, or was it actually the estriol? So a better idea would be to do a study looking at estriol only in the exact same dose in a comparable group of patients with similar skin in the beginning. You'd actually want to biopsy it before and after, and then you'd want to have a control group that was getting something that looked exactly the same, that had no hormone in it. That would be a randomized controlled trial, but that has never been done. It would be very difficult to do because of people not wanting to get their face biopsied and not wanting to be in the placebo group, and frankly because people who make this stuff don't really want to find out that it doesn't work, so there isn't much motivation to pay for a study. That would cost a lot of money. So what we're left with is a lot of anecdotal information. And if you're like me, I'm a human being, there's a huge placebo effect. If you give me a cream that you say is going to help fine lines and wrinkles, and then I use it for 3 months, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to have the perception that it helped. So we've got to remember that. And you can use photography, of course, but photographs can be altered. So just to say, we don't know. Now, there was a study done in 2019 that put together all of the different anecdotal, small observational studies that had been done looking at different types of estrogen cream. Some were estriol, some were estriol only, some had other stuff added, like the things that I mentioned. It was impossible to get much information from that because all of those studies were done differently. So you couldn't really tell, and the end point of that study was, we don't really know if it works. Now, using estrogen on the skin of other animals appears to have some benefit for promoting collagen, but we really don't know if it helps in humans or not. Well, that being said, it's not harmful. So my perception about things in general is if there's a chance that it works and it's not harmful and there's no financial significant loss to you, it's not a big loss if it doesn't work, try it. I did try it. My personal opinion was, honestly, mostly due to user error. I wasn't using it twice a day as instructed. It had to be refrigerated, the product that I chose. It was a bit of a pain. I didn't use it properly, so I didn't really notice a difference. I've had some patients try it and they believe that it works. Now we use a product that does have those other elements in it, so maybe it's the other things, the whatever you want to put in it, right? You can mix it with anything you want to, and typically our compounding pharmacy uses vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, plus or minus a retinoid. I mean, you can throw anything in there. So there's no way to know if it's the estrogen that's helping. Now, let me talk to you about using estradiol cream on your face. So remember, that's the one that's 100 times stronger. Now, you can do it, and what patients often do is they use their vaginal cream. So vaginal estradiol cream is really, really tiny dose. So putting it on your face, the concern would be that that would be too much estrogen, it would elevate your blood levels. Probably not, because when we use vaginal estrogen, very little of it is absorbed into the bloodstream because the dose is so low. For an example, if you're using estradiol on your skin, a product like Dosage, for example, which is the FDA-approved gel, the dose would be either 0.5 or 1 milligrams a day. The amount that you'd use vaginally would be 10 times less than that. So it's a very small dose because we want it all to be bound locally in the vagina when it's being used for vaginal dryness. So yeah, if you put a little bit of that vaginal cream on your face, it's not going to make much of any difference to your blood levels of estradiol, but generally we stay away from that because of that potential concern, although in my opinion, probably it's not really anything to worry about because certainly when we use it vaginally, we don't see any significant increase in blood levels of estrogen. So you could try it. So if you have vaginal estrogen cream, you could put a little bit on your face. I would do no more than half a gram. So that's a very small amount. Half a gram is just a pea-sized amount on your face. Take some pictures before and after, send them to me. We can do a study, but at the moment there's no evidence that it helps with anything, but yet doesn't mean that it doesn't, it just means we don't have the evidence yet. So when information is in its early stages, just because there's no evidence that it works doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Nothing's proven that it doesn't work. We just don't have enough information to say with certainty that it does work. So what I tell patients is, yes, there's a lot of hoopla and marketing about estriol cream. It does have to be prescribed, so a lot of doctors are prescribing it. We prescribe it if patients ask for it, and we always use the caveat, we don't know if it's going to work, but hey, try it if you want to. It's not harmful. So there's a no respect, could it be harmful? If you've had breast cancer, it's not absorbed into your system, it's not harmful. So try it and see, but I would definitely do it with a try and see attitude. And some of these products are pretty expensive. The one that I got from my local compounding pharmacy was about $100 a month, so it's a significant investment. If that doesn't bother you, go for it. So don't believe the marketing that says that estrogen cream has been proven to do anything. It hasn't been proven to do anything. All of the suggestions that it's helpful are anecdotal. That means a patient said, hey, I loved it, or my friend loved it, or 5 patients said that their skin looked better, something like that. That's not really highly scientific. So what we would need, and I hope we can do this in the future, the problem is that it would be expensive to do, and we'd have to find someone that is motivated to pay for it. But we would want to get a group, as I mentioned, of women to use estriol only with no other stuff added to it, and then a placebo arm with something that looks exactly the same, not tell them which one they're getting, take before and after pictures over, say, 3 months, and then also biopsy their face, which that would probably be a deal breaker for most people to be in this study. And then that would tell us if it really makes a difference. And of course, they'd have to be not using any other products and a million other things. So you can see why these randomized controlled trials are really quite difficult to do. And that often leaves us having to make the best sense that we can out of the information that we have. And that's where we are right now about using estrogen on your face. Go for it. It's not harmful. If you've got some vaginal estrogen cream, use 0.5 gram. That is not going to elevate your blood levels in any significant way. If you do get a compounded estriol product, I personally might try, if I did it again, just asking for estriol alone. Don't mix it with other stuff, because then you're not going to know which one of those helped. Take before and after pictures, really important, so that you know if it's making a difference. And remember, there is a big placebo effect. So give it a try. It is prescription only. We prescribe it. If you want to come see us at Complete Midlife Wellness Center, there's a link to how to do that below. Don't forget, this is one of the topics, the many, many topics we're going to be talking about in our upcoming Well Past Midlife Masterclass, which is an 8-week class with videos and a once-a-week live Zoom talk going over everything to do with perimenopause, menopause, nutrition, exercise, all the types of hormones, emotional wellness, all the things. That's starting soon. Our first cohort starts February 10th, so we only have 20 spots. I think we only have a few left. Check that out below as well. Lots of exciting things going on here at CMWC, so check it out below. And of course, if you want a prescription for estrogen face cream, we can do that for you too. And we'll see if it works. So I hope you learned something today. If you did, don't forget to share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next week.